Hi guys, namaskar. Back after a few days, and so yesterday I was watching this podcast called the Average Not Average podcast, and the I feel the GOAT badminton player Victor Axelsen was in it, and for people who don't know who Victor Axelsen is a two-time Olympic champion, three-time Olympic medalist, and according to me, one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest ever. And if he wins the LA Gold, I feel he'll be the greatest ever. And so he was in that podcast, and I actually completely agree with what he says. I feel badminton as a sport needs to deregulate itself because what he says is absolutely correct. There are too many middlemen in terms of the federations, the BWF, the national federations, between the organizers and the players, and between the tournament, the between the action of the sport and the players' fruit that they should get uh, by being in the middle of the action. So I feel this is something that needs to happen pretty fast because this sport not being dominated by Europeans is, I feel, at a disadvantageous uh, you know uh, is at a disadvantage because the countries that dominate this sport, say the Southeast Asian countries and the Muslim countries, I think they are all pretty authoritarian in terms of how they operate um, as a country, and I feel that is why I feel this sport is more regulated than other sports, say like tennis. Uh, I feel that needs to change pretty quickly, and I feel that needs to change in India also because I don't see much. You know, I don't see the need of uh, having a big national federation, having a big state federation, because I feel it should, or the federations should operate as any not-for-profit organizations. There should be employees, and they do their job. Okay, part of their job is also to organize tournament all across the country, and for that they should also ask for sponsors and ask for CSR fundings and all that. But they shouldn't be under this illusion. The none of these employees, if of the not for profit organization that helps the sport of badminton, or any other sport for that matter, should be under the illusion that they hold a position of power. They don't, and it should be operated in that way. If they have to if the player, and another thing Victor said is, if he has to sort of ask, or he has to talk to BWF or something, he has to go through the federation. And if Victor needs to do it, imagine a normal player, he will never be able to reach BWF, because even if his query or question is valid, the federation is not going to uh, think about passing on his question to the world body. So I feel, for that, this idea of federation, bureaucracy, governing bodies, they need to be changed, and they need to be operating as a pretty much not-for-profit organization. And if the player needs to talk to the government or governing body of the world, he can directly approach it with just a sort of acknowledgement to the national body. And I feel this will help Indian athletes as well, especially the Indian athletes, because uh, deregulation will also deshackle the players psychologically, because what happens is when the players go for major tournaments, they often feel that they are representing 1.4 billion hopes and all those things, but that's delusional, and that plays in their psyche, because the 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 invisible presence of the governing body, the ministry, the sports governing body side, by the national federations, the ministry, they make it a very huge spectacle, grand thing, a matter of great importance. Oh, the nation is, relying on you, backing you, and really pinning their hopes on you. Actually, it plays on the player's psyche, but I feel, if the player can only deshackle themselves and only play for themselves, so I think that will inevitably raise their level, and I feel more medals will come. And of course, if more medals come to the players, it by default comes to the country. You don't need to say, "Ki, okay, I represent my country." You don't. I mean, you represent yourself, and you happen to be in this country. You happen to be from this country, so of course you represent your country. It should be that way. I mean, a classic example uh, the is a performance in Olympics, and also the 2023 World Cup, where I feel the players actually collapsed under pressure, and this pressure was partly because of the grand affairs and spectacle that was sort of looming behind them, and sort of creating that psychological pressure for them. So I feel, yeah, I feel part of the reason why uh, uh, we we sort of not do we sort of don't do that well in world level is because of that, because we still feel burdened by the community, by the country, by the by oh, so many people have done so many things for us, and this fellow has done so much for me, that fellow has done that collective psyche plays against us performing at the highest level. This is what I personally feel. And another thing that really was playing on my mind for the past few days is the current scoring system change that may take place in badminton. I feel uh, I didn't watch the All England finals that happened, the girls' finals that happened yesterday, but I saw the match timing and it was 1 hour 35 minutes, and I thought it's pretty long for a match, and I feel why don't the BWF give a mandatory break, say after 60 or 70 minutes, let's say a 5 minute break, instead of changing the scoring system? Let's say after 70 minutes, there's a 5 minute break, irrespective of the score. If it's 6-all, 7-6, third game, and 70 minutes happens, and there should be a break, 5 minute break, where the players can call his or her own physio and the coaching team on court, and they can have a sort of discussion and all those things. They can give a recovery therapy and all those in those 5 minutes, and even the spectators can take a break, and also the TV people can run their ads during that time. So I feel instead of changing the scoring system, there should be like a mandatory 5 minute, like a half time break in football, mandatory 5 minute break, and then again you can resume the match. So I feel that could be worked out and thought about, and why not? Why just simply change the scoring system every 10 years, 15 years? So yeah, these are two things I thought I'll share. I hope I've been able to explain. I know the first thing needs to be explained much better, and it's a vast topic. Uh, I didn't cover a lot of things. One another thing that I should have covered and I don't want to cover because this video is already too long, is that players can also launch their own tokens, and take payments in their own tokens. Why? Through national currency and all those things. Anyway, that's a different topic. So I hope I've been able to explain this to the best of my ability. If you want to add anything, please comment, like, subscribe, share. Thank you. Bye bye. Namaskar.